Hi, this is Rod Lucas. Welcome along to another radio training course video. I've just completed another 3-day radio course, Core 2 course, which is more advanced than the basic radio course, which most people start on. A 3-day course featuring Danny Vegas, who's been with me before on one of these YouTube videos. Now, Danny has been learning radio more intricately, plus he's been able to do a radio show live to Southeast Spain on Valley Radio. So, Danny, welcome.
Thank you.
So, what have you learned in this Core 2 course?
I've learned a lot more than the first 3 days. The first 3 days was a lot intense of just knowing the equipment, but now it's actually producing a show, what content's needed, and what's more of my unique selling point, really, what I can bring out on the show.
That it is so important to have a unique selling point because I can teach people how to be competent at radio, but it's that extra that you bring that we have to discover, or I have to discover from someone who's coming to see me for a training course. So when we first met in December, you'd never done radio before.
No.
You completed a great demo, and over 3 days we were go over interviews, taking telephone calls, making competitions, compiling shows, editing shows, and presenting music and talk together, and all the intricate ways that you weave that together to make a great popular radio show. This time round, we were wanting to work on different areas that you were weak on before, sub-mixing, and also keeping links shorter and sweeter, and original content. Did you find anything particularly hard this time round?
No, because when we did the first time, when we got a detailed report, what we can actually do then is come back and focus on those main areas of the weaker areas where I weren't performing. And like you were saying about submixing and things like that, again, when you just first start to it, you're not going to be the next perfect DJ over 3 days. It's going to take time, but at least you can come back and then refocus on your weaknesses. And I think I've benefited from them now.
Yeah, I think you have, because it's been a few months since we saw each other last, and the ultimate thing when you come on a Core 2 course is that you get to go on the air if you're good enough. And you went on the air on Valley Radio in Southeast Spain, which is an English-speaking station in Spain, and you did a 2-hour live show. Nerve-wracking or what?
Very nerve-wracking. You should have seen me this morning at breakfast. It was very nerve-wracking, but again, once you get into it, and about 10 minutes into the show,
ketchup everywhere.
The butterflies went, and I was fine. But like you say, yeah, ketchup was everywhere this morning.
What is that feeling like when you're doing the practicing, as opposed to actually when you're on the air, going into Sky News, doing live dedications and phone-ins and stuff as you were doing? What are those experiences like, particularly with the live show?
It's very different, because when you're just practicing and practicing more, anything can happen on a live show. Anybody can send you emails, and I didn't tell anybody I was on a live show, and a lot of my friends had emailed in the show, so obviously...
Yes, because they were listening online. But the extra great thing was that I'm doing more televisual shows as well. So you just didn't have a webcam there. You had a moving camera that was streaming the whole show, me coming in and out. People were being able to see you perform as well. So it was almost like TV, because you're doing it on Ustream. People can see you in action, so there's no picking of the noses, smoking or drinking, or pinching people's bottoms or anything like that. It's full on, isn't it? You've got the camera on you the whole time, which is happening more and more and more now in radio, where listeners expect more, especially the internet. On radio stations, people want to go and see a radio presenter work. They want to see Chris Evans and Steve Wright. They want to see Danny Vegas performing their show rather than just having a web stream. So there was that to look after as well. So we did this 2-hour show, and it's quite interesting to do it from the UK to Spain. Sort of got a different kind of perspective there. Well, I tell you what, let's have a look at what you were doing earlier on this monitor here.
Good afternoon! It's Danny Vegas here today. If anyone's on the internet at the moment, you might see Rod Lucas, who's producing my show today. He's doing a great job. He's actually walking around with a camera. Who does he think he is? David Bailey? He's got a special request coming now. This is for Dave. Apparently he's got the most important job in Almeria.
How's it going?
Alright, brilliant.
Okay, well that was Danny earlier on today performing in the studio. That was really nice. That was you full in action there.
Yeah, it was, yeah. It was, especially when he was running around with a camera. It's like, you know, it was... But that's not to be scared of, nothing to be scared of. Because the camera, things are cameraed up, everybody's human. End of the day, everybody picks their nose and does things. But it's not something to put you off.
Well, you've completed a Core 2 course, so that's now 6 days full one-to-one personal radio training event. You had your basic course, you went away and thought about it, and you've come back a few months later to do the 2 core course. So there are 3 core courses as well, which you can come and do. You'll need to think about where you want to be. But we really have taken you from never having done radio before to suddenly being on air. After 5 days you were on the air. So that's good. And I just don't put people on the air. They've got to be good to be put on the air. So well done. And people can see and listen to you doing that radio show and your demo as well. So what would you say to people, whether it's a Core 2 course they were coming to see me for, or learning radio from the very beginning, because I do all these courses, what would you say to people? Say it to the camera. What would you say about the training you've had, all of it?
The training's been fantastic. The first 3 days is just getting to know the equipment, getting to know, you know, how radio works, because normally I'm a mobile DJ at weekends. Something I've always wanted to get into because I've got a passion for music. But the first 3 days are fantastic because you get to play about with all the equipment from day one. But then it's obviously, if you want to do it, don't just sit there and watch this video. Actually ring Rod up and you get a fantastic meal of fange, you know.
Yes, who's operating the camera at the same time. She's cheap at half the price. Plus she gets to do some jingles as well. So, you know, the art of radio is always there to be learned. You know, and I've been in the game hundreds of years and still learning. But if you're looking to do a radio course to get onto radio, if you look at the websites, Radio School and radiopresentertraining.com, you can see real people who've got real jobs at this kind of stage. So we're now hoping that you are going to be offered a job somewhere. Who knows where?
As my mum said, with Jonathan Ross leaving BBC, she wants me doing children in
Well, personally, it wouldn't surprise me if in a couple of years' time we don't see you on some bigger station somewhere. Danny, look forward to seeing you again. I think what you need to do now is practice more. Come and see us again, do some training in the studio, do another live show, and I'm sure the listeners will have loved what you've done today. And you've only just come off the air, really.
That's yeah.
Yes. We got a sandwich down him and then put him, straight in front of the camera. But it's been a pleasure working with you again. Good to see you.
And thanks very much for the time.
Yeah.
And the training as well. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, look forward to it.
And also thanks for putting me on your station.
Yes, absolutely. But we only put people who can do it. Good luck to you, Danny.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Join me again for another podcast and videocast soon. Well done. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
That was good. You were good.